Welcome to Auction version 4, the latest event management software tool from Auction Systems. Besides data entry for names and items, which are the most common areas of data entry, we have several other data entry types. In this video, I will show you how to enter cash and in-kind gifts from the cash and in-kind data entry area. You've received a lot of cash and in-kind gifts, and you're ready to track these in your auction project. It's easy to enter these one after another in the cash and in-kind data entry area rather than going into each donor's name record in name data entry, especially if most or all of the donors already have name records in your project. Just go directly to cash and in-kind data entry. To get to cash and in-kind data entry, click Data Entry on the main Home task ribbon and choose Data Entry. Cash donations are true monetary gifts, whether paid for by cash, check, or credit card transactions. In-kind gifts are services or donations that are not auction donations, but rather goods or services that help you run your event. For example, a DJ may donate his services that evening at no charge. In effect, the DJ is making a donation in the amount he or she would have normally charged. If you want your project to be a true indication of what an event like yours would cost had you needed to pay for goods and services you were given, you will need to enter these gifts as cash or in-kind donations. And the additional benefit is you will be able to print a donation receipt from auction to give to the donor of this service or cash. From the list of item entry types, choose cash and in-kind. To add a new donation, click the plus sign and choose the type of donation you wish to enter, cash or in-kind. This is the cash and in-kind screen. On the left side of the screen is a list of cash donations or in-kind donations that have already been received. The left column tells you the type of transaction, cash or in-kind. The middle column gives you a description of that specific donation, and the column on the right shows you the name of the donor that made the donation. The right of the screen shows you pertinent panels for cash or in-kind donation entry. Depending on whether you chose to add a cash or in-kind donation, the type will be picked for you, but you can change that type if you choose. The next field is for the description of the donation. This description will appear on the donor's receipt and invoice, so I like this description to be very clear. If it's a monetary donation because perhaps an invitee cannot attend but send in a donation, I might put something like $100 donation in lieu of attendance. Or if this is an event underwriter who is not receiving entries to the event, which could be handled better in the tickets function in auction, I indicate this is underwriting in the description. For in-kind donations, I would also be very clear. For example, the DJ who is donating his or services, I would describe it as DJ Services. The next field is for the monetary value of the donation. We will talk about expenses in another video in this data entry series, but if the cash donation is to cover a specific expense, or if you are tracking the expense for the DJ that is covered or partially covered by the DJ's in-kind donation, you can click the Associated Expense button and the expense data entry form will pop up without needing to leave the cash or in-kind data entry area. You can say whether the donation has been received yet. If the item has been received, click the Received button. If it's not been received, click Not Received. Then you must give a reason why it was not received. There are several choices in the pull-down, but if you don't see a choice that fits, you can add a new choice by clicking the plus sign. You can decide which account you wish to apply the donation to, and you can also add an account. And you can pick a sub-account or add a sub-account if necessary. The next panel is for the donor. If the donor is in your current list of names in your project, pick the donor from the pull-down. If the donor is not in the list, click the plus sign to add a new donor, and a new name entry form will pop up, which you can fill out here rather than closing and going to the Data Entry for Names task. If you're going to include cash or in-kind donations on a page in your catalog, you have the same choices to pick from as to how the donor's name will appear, as it is listed in the name entry form, as a friend of your organization, anonymous, which will have no donor name at all, or you can specify by adding a special listing to the pull-down. Also on this screen is the ability to enter the payment type and amount for this cash donation if you've already received payment. Click on this button and the payment form will pop up without the need to leave the cash and in-kind donations area. I will talk about data entry for payments in another tutorial in this series. Thank you for joining us.